He immediately picked up his cell phone to record it. So I get up close to it. Dude, look, there is nothing coming out of that, but in the mirror. The humidifier was not turned on, but the inverted image in the mirror kept coming out of water. What is the truth? Zamian claimed he was exploring an abandoned building. Capture the existence of the ghost. The empty mouth of the pure Buddha is more than the door of one tomb. The huge black shadow on the door frame hides behind the wall, without a trace of sound. But it is definitely not a human if you don T chisel the ground. But is it a ghost or a reflection of light? You can only decide it yourself. After watching this video, you will understand how important it is to go home on time after get off work. A woman is overworked and falls asleep while lying on her seat. Suspected attacked by spirits. The phone suddenly slides to the edge of the table, turns randomly, and rushes to the woman's face. After that, her arm seemed to be lifted up hard. It was like a scene of waking up and driving away others. But the woman seemed to faint and did not react at all, so she was pushed to the ground. If the union did not dislike it, this ghost must be a good employee. Chi-Chi, a netizen living in Casas, USA. That day, I was frightened by the behavior of my pet dog in the backyard. I am not afraid of scaring people, but I am not afraid of scaring people. This door has a key lock, and it is hard to get in. It seemed that she had noticed the threat. When she walked around the back of the wooden house, Chi-Chi thought someone had broken into her backyard. However, the situation that followed made her feel confused. Peter's dog stared at the door for a second. Suddenly, I was so scared that I retreated repeatedly, but it was definitely impossible to hide from people behind me. After all, based on the behavior of the dog. It's impossible that something that scares the dog is there in the beginning. What exactly are you scaring the dog? The incident happened in front of a convenience store in South America. When the boss goes to work the next day, check the previous night's surveillance step backwards. Discovered a bizarre scene. Pink electric motorcycle slowly tried in front of the convenience store, but couldn't see the person driving him. After the convenience store owner shared the video to the internet, the car owner quickly found the car based on clues, but did he still dare to ask for it? Can you find a problem from this dash cam? Along the way, the driver didn't see any trust. As a result, God passed by the woman without realizing it. There was almost an accident. The driver, who was still in shock, did not recover for a long time. He couldn't figure out why someone appeared on the highway in the middle of the night. Until you carefully study the driving record. He realized that the other party was probably not a human. Only this kind of guess. Only then can I explain why the figure of a woman suddenly appears out of thin air. Shayley found one, and it was a camera. After entering the store, he saw his father photographing his family time for himself. But soon Shayley noticed something strange. Okay, so I think my dad got a ghost on camera back in 1993, and I want you guys to let me know what you think. And for all those Gen Zs out there, this is a camcorder. We set it up, press record, and go about our day. I don't know why. It was just a 90s thing. And just so you guys know, we had a ghost in every house that we lived in. So that's why I found this very intriguing. Go ahead and watch that pumpkin in the left-hand corner, and let me know what you think. When my father was accompanying me when he was a child, the toys on the ground suddenly started to move wildly. Shayley believes that this is a supernatural phenomenon. Since the video is stored in an old-style video recorder, it is unlikely to be a result of editing. Do you agree with this view? The apartment is about to be demolished. Don't be anxious. Go ahead to investigate. Tenant hangs himself at the door. The body was found a week later. However, the day before this, the tenant next door heard the knocking sound of this room. Have you heard the words after taking the ink and breathing? The tone is obviously different from the deformed ones. Could this be the soul of the biological tenant? Mark took his friends and ran into an old house in Limoux, France one night to explore. I accidentally caught some mysterious thing. When two people turn, When you are ready to move forward, it seems that someone has stretched out half of his body. Looking at them can be next second, but he floated away like smoke. If he is not a ghost, then who could be like this? It disappeared silently in the blink of an eye. A netizen in Texas, USA, received a call from a security surveillance camera from the backyard at 4 a.m. The camera shows a figure walking out from behind the cabin, moving to the right, and finally leaving the screen. Let Abel believe the reason for hell. Except for the other person's feet off the ground, and he was at an inappropriate time. Appeared in a long-abandoned location. Recently, a market security officer in Bailu leaked a strange video. Looking at the same time, the security personnel in front of the screen couldn't help feeling the force of their hair. During the Shuanbo period, the security guard seemed to have seen a lonely child go up and talk to him and touch the other person's head. But in fact, the only security guard is speaking to the air in the surveillance camera. According to the video sharer, his colleague really saw a little girl. If her words are true, then she must have seen a hell. Unless she had a prank with her colleagues. Or there is a mental problem with this security person. Moha, a netizen in Morancia, went out for a ride with his friends at night. They suspected of stopping the angle on the highway. At this time, Moha's sports camera captured the thrilling scene in the reverse lane. With the sound of the engine, a motorcycle passed by the two of Moha. But what is strange is that no one was driving the motorcycle. People who have watched the video think that the driver may have fallen from above and the only car is left to continue moving forward. But what is inconsistent with this is that the motorcycle's accelerator is stepped on many times in front of the end. Therefore, this statement cannot be held firm. So, could someone be controlling it behind the car? If you combine the speed of the motorcycle, do you think it is possible? Go home after every time you go out. Ivan will see the miserable everywhere. He thinks either someone is hiding at home or the house is broken into pieces. So Yifan decided to install the camera. Record the situation at home when you go out. But the result is far beyond his imagination. The stroller is quickly passing through. The toy starts by itself and falls straight from the table. It seems that the person hiding in Yifan's house is likely to be a naughty guy. Li Ao made an appointment with his friend. One night, explore into the administrative building of Norwich State Hospital. The hospital was in 1904. Hand-thinking mental patients open. It operated until 1996. Leo and the others are in a corner of the building. Captured this terrifying scene. Through the broken door glass, you can see a part of a white body behind the door. Only a short moment. Lee A.O. and others immediately opened the door after they noticed it. But the white figure has long disappeared. It has like never existed. Children sleeping alone wake up in the middle of the night and behave abnormally. My mother saw something that counted down from the monitor screen. The mother was puzzled why she didn't sleep in the middle of the night and stood beside the bed until the moment she saw the child bowing her head. She realized that there should be something by the bed, and then the picture shows just as she guessed. It seems that there is a hand on the side. Is there a ghost hiding in the child's bedroom? Have you noticed the black human figure in the sea of fire? If it was a pillar, would it be a ghost? No matter how you say it, it is impossible for someone to stand in the fire without moving, right? Moving into a new home doesn't always lead a better life. When Leanne realizes there is something wrong with the house, she learned from the surveillance camera that her son had suffered a lot of crimes. Things start from the day Leanne's children play in the yard. Annie Lee can no longer laugh. My son's fall is not normal, more like being kicked. Back to the house. Leonie starts checking surveillance. I really found that I didn't think much. I guess I heard the movement behind me. Only Leonie's son will turn around to check. Then I felt touched. Except for the son. Leonie himself is experiencing horrible things. Soon after, the news revealed by the neighbor also confirmed the fact that the house was haunted. I wake up my wife every day because he doesn't understand what happened to me. So I ignored him. So I finally closed this and no longer talk about it. I fired a bomb with my neighbor. They come over. One of my neighbors said, "I can't believe you live at home." I asked him why. She said I was cheated. She said their former family. Because they've been through horror and crazy things. So I feel very pitiful in my heart. Those things happened to them, but nothing big of a deal. I don't even know. She took a photo from me. She said this man. In the house I live in, I saw that photo. I already know my house was harassed. Because that's that man. I am in my dream every day. A new school in Malacca. Haunted news has been recently. Video display. Akeem, the security guard who is responsible for night patrol. A woman with long white hair was found. Back to glass window. Standing still in the classroom office. Akeem tried his best to stay calm while reciting the Quran. Use your mobile phone to verify. A Jim said he seemed to have seen him next to Liba before. Now it appears in the office. After the scene was stalemate for about a minute, the woman in white walked into the darkness. The office interior is terrible and there is no one at all. However, the female ghost looks like a physical body. Its authenticity is questioned. Akeem himself strongly refuted this and insisted that everything is true. So what do you think? Surveillance video taken on a small road in the Dominican Republic shows a supernatural incident that was ignored by the crowd at the night market at around 1 a.m. A bunch of young people speeding past on motorcycles. A black shadow suddenly appeared around him. Fade out of the screen in a few seconds. No one present noticed it. The next accident made the investigators discover. About 3 minutes later, another motorcycle passed in the same direction. Lost control and hit the car next to it. If you don't see the picture from not long ago, no one would doubt the direction of supernatural events. On the ceiling opposite the room, something scary happened to that mirror. A black figure was reflected standing in front of the door. One day, an American witch master witnessed an abnormality in a pet dog at home, and she recorded the whole process with her mobile phone. There was no one in the living room, and the single dog was threatened and kept barking, perhaps because he was afraid to hide next to the female homeowner. When he returned to the living room again, the dog yelled at the air again. Suddenly, a small yellow ball rolled out from under the TV cabinet. As the video spreads on the internet, many ghosts are terrifying to scare pet dogs. but some people think it is the cause of insects. But who controls the ball rolling out of the TV cabinet? House built by elders 15 years ago. There has been no accidents in the house or the land where it is located, but in the end it was still occupied by ghosts. On a weekend morning, Slan checks why the attic is sitting in a crackling position. I found that the balcony was closed all year round and the door was open. It was also from this day that strange things followed one after another. After Slan asked the priest to purify the house, she thought the quiet years would last. But it turns out that she was too naive. I went home for a few days on a business trip. The house is in a mess. Over time, the scope of the influence of strange things has gradually expanded. The noise of the warehouse draws yucca into the yard. Then a flower pot was thrown from a high altitude. Yucca can stand these troubles in the end, ready to leave with the key. But the process is not going well. The situation is completely out of control. Objects fall. Music started in the room downstairs. The ceiling chandeliers shake for no reason. The chair was dragged out in front of him. Slan, who ran away in a hurry, forgot to close the door, drugged and returned. But at this time, she is no longer the owner of the house. The safety monitoring camera in the bedroom falls off for no reason. Natalie only became alert to the problem after checking history. Unidentified shadows frequently move in every corner of the house. What is even more terrifying is what they do even while sleeping in Natani. A completely dark human figure stands up in front of the camera, only a few steps from Natani. Did he tamper with Natani after squatting into the shadows? Derek was invited to visit other campuses. The camera follows the staff's footsteps. They unconsciously photograph something terrifying. I am interested in photos and trial, but I haven't decided yet. We do a lot of different things here. Here are our aesthetics and paintings. In our exhibition room, it is cool because we have a student exhibition. We have professors. Every school has these exhibitions. Everyone can participate. Very good. This is our aesthetic room. There is paper painting below. The camera turns to the corridor. Behind it is a figure in a dress. Backlight stands in the middle. The most disturbing thing is she only appeared on her upper body. It is like floating up from the ground. Did you catch a ghost? Three girls playing games. Something horrible happened. Suddenly, something strange happened. After being pushed down, the girl with the lower left foot pounced on the other two, then grabbed her feet with force and dragged them out of the camera. Although the other two girls tried their best, they still couldn't save their friends and could only watch her kidnapped. Out of self-protection instinct, the two hurriedly threw them into a room and pressed against the door. Soon the disappearing girl is back in another way. She crawled on the ground like a demon. Come to the door of the room where the other two girls are. Try to assimilate them too. Is this unfortunate child possessed by the devil? Is the games they play related to psychics? Mothers leaving their children in the bedroom. Before leaving, she placed a surveillance camera in her closet. The girl found the hidden shot and reached for it. It turned out to be overturned by accident. The moment the lens stands, a terrifying face came close to the girl, leaving the screen the next second. Strangely, the little girl didn't notice her existence at all. So is this face a ghost? Four-star Hayes Hongshan Hotel in Port Dickson Beach, Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur is only an hour's drive away. It is a commonplace for Kuala Lumpur people. However, according to some passengers, this hotel is haunted. But many people also say that they have lived many times without encountering any strange things. This may be the survivor bias. Because Malaysian woman Lulu encountered a horrible thing when she first checked in. I was almost scared to death in the end. Lulu said she felt uncomfortable as soon as she entered the room. It seems to be under surveillance. So she checked around. Suddenly, move your suitcase by yourself. Soda cans on the table slide quickly to the floor. The curtain castle seemed to be ripped hard. She screamed and rushed out of the door. Truck driver Gamboya often shares videos of her daily life on her social account. But there's a completely different part of it. That night, Gamboya was resting and was about to drive away. He seemed to be hiding something after seeing the car. Gamboya thinks that short figure looks like a little girl. But how could she appear in a remote place late at night? Long-term troubled by unknown noises from the basement. Mariel finally got the courage, prepared to check the situation. Haven T taken the first step yet. Just opened the door to the basement. She was frightened and screamed in shock. What exactly happened? Adjust the screen brightness. Actually, I can see. Something strange flashed by. Even penetrates the walls. Is the sound made by her? Could T get it from the video? But that is definitely not a good thing. On a plane flying over Washington, a passenger took a controversial video through a window using his mobile phone. A black object floats above the sky. This unknown flyer in the video turned direction for a while. What is the current statement about him? Some people think it is an unknown aircraft. Some people think it is an unknown creature. So what do you think? Plana had a lot of fun in the pool with a few friends. Decided to shoot a dance video. I only realized that there was a ghost in the camera afterwards. White cloth hanging from the iron roof behind. Then I can see a pair of feet as it moves upwards. But it is not just to climb. It is better to be dragged up. The problem is, where can a woman move on a tin roof? Football fans have no chance to meet at the training ground. Excited, he took a photo with his cell phone. But something incredible happened. Where does this mysterious man come from in the picture? Is the dead corner of the video really the reason why he is elusive? Shapier is a ruin adventure enthusiast. One night, he came to an abandoned mine alone and reached into the cave along the railway tracks. He saw something that he would never forget in his life. Not far away, a creature with a body that is not full of soil, trying to get up with your arms. Very similar to the scene in the movie, The Living Dead. Don T bothered to find out what it is. He turned around and started running for his life. Indonesian woman Leskiva is because of strange things around her, causing interruptions in misleading videos. After the toilet light goes out, a black shadow slipped out and came to the cabinet. I believe the bottle fell from his hands. As for whether the shadow is a human or a ghost, it is up to you to decide. On October 1, 2024, DeVos was awakened by the knocks outside the door again, and his unreasonable troubles made him unable to ignore them, even though I know that what I am facing may be something in the underworld. The more DeVos thought about it, the more scared he turned around and ran back home. Unexpectedly, there was something he walked in first. Looking at the crazy scene in front of you, DeVos immediately ran out of the room. However, other rooms are not at peace. DeVos didn't rush home until the next morning. What you have to face is not a variety that dies when you see the light. Fend often shares videos about cars and family life. Nothing to do with supernatural phenomena. Finder decided to install the reversing lights by himself after buying a Nissan sedan. Agreed to a viewer's request to show lighting performance. Fenn came to the woods one night. But eventually, something terrible was captured accidentally. After the headlights are on, you can see a creepy hand on the trunk. Villagers in a certain area of Central Asia, watching strange phenomena in front of a water pump. The onlookers explained, the strange phenomenon has been going on for a while. Water pump that is pressed down for no reason. If it's not a supernatural phenomenon, so how should it be explained? Since installing security monitoring, factory administrators frequently receive alerts, even in the middle of the night. The administrator will definitely not expect that the items can be moved to other locations in addition to being moved to other locations. Things that can see the aesthetic track wander around. I was unknowingly. I've been with these things in the underworld for so long. After watching these surveillance videos, what choice will he make? Grande is the night security guard at an office building in Brazil. During a duty, he saw a ghost from the surveillance screen. Let us take a look at her look now. You see, it is obvious that he looks like a person walking, looking for a direction. Look at her steps. Yes, look at her steps. Her steps are getting smoother. After the human-shaped white shadow appeared in the open air, always wandering in front of the reception counter. Its subtle movements are like guests staying in the hotel. But strangely, he never overlaps the image area of the counter. This shouldn't be an insect. Ruka and his wife walk along the woods path. The strange sounds around them made them stop and check back. When I found no abnormality, was ready to leave. The camera captures his wife behind. There is a brown object flying over quickly. Many comments in the comment area say, this is the target reported by multiple witnesses. If you insist on it is the image of dead branches under the blur of the camera. So why didn't it exist at the last moment? Lao Air is a security guard. What happened on that stormy night? It is definitely the biggest challenge of his career. See strange activity of monitors. The old ear who is alone can't help but be afraid. He tried to talk to the camera and play music loudly to divert attention. So what are you afraid of? A shopping cart was pulled out. There is not even a ghost in the empty mall. I can't help but be afraid. Just try to adapt to everything.